Hello, and I'm very happy to welcome Harsimrat Kaur Badal to our Women's Conclave. As you know, Harsimrat ji, she's a Lok Sabha MP from Punjab, Batinda. She's also been a former union minister. So thank you for being here. And I just want to tell you that this We Women Want, it's an organic result of a show that we do every week, where we discuss women's issues, we celebrate winners, we also try and find empathy and solutions to problems that face women. So thank you for coming here. And in fact, can we have silence, please? Thank you. I think it's always the session after tea is a little difficult to get everybody back down. Sometimes I become a school monitor. But Harsimrat ji, before I would like to talk to you a bit about politics, but first about your journey. You've been a convent-educated girl who got married into a political family. Politics, I don't think you'd ever thought that I will become a neta or mantri banungi. Lekin ho gaya aise. So how did you feel about it?
To let you into a secret, Priya, the basis of me marrying my husband was, like my father said, was an arranged marriage. He says, "Vyah tai hoga if the boy never comes into politics." So the basis was that Subir would never enter politics. And that's the only reason why we got married. And who knew that 2 years later, he would become an MP, and a couple of years later, so would I. So I say it's all destiny. Nothing's in your own hands. And forget about ever thinking I hated politics like a typical young Delhiite. I think now they're a lot more aware than what we were. In fact, right up till the time I got married, I didn't know what the Badals were. I thought they were, some clouds or something. I knew nothing about them.
Very stormy clouds.
Absolutely. So you're right. I had no intentions of ever coming into this line. But yes, I did realize that once you're in this line, there's a lot that you can do, and my aim was always to uplift women. In fact, I started Nanni Cha, which was an NGO to uplift women. And my journey as an MP has just been another platform to talk about women's issues and to see how I can address their problems.
In fact, about Nanni Cha, I would like to talk to you about that also. But before that, so you got into politics. One is to, marry into a political family. Second is to be a politician yourself, and wo bhi in Punjab. How are you taken as a woman, not just from the Badal family, but as a woman politician? How do people accept you easily? Kaise tha shuru mein?
I think it's never easy for a woman. Not just my profession, I would probably think so in every profession. But yes, definitely in a man-dominated world where you fight an election with other men, it is an uneven battle, and which is why I think we need more women in that parliament, because you fight the men and you come there, you must be given something additional for that, which we are not. And we do live in a patriarchal society. I still remember my first election where a lot of old women would come. They were very happy that suddenly, they are being asked to come out of their house because there's a woman candidate, and now they are being invited to come there. Otherwise, they were only limited to being within the 4 walls of their compounds. And I still remember they used to tell me, ki, we'll vote for you, but first go take that pajama. I used to wear chudidars because I used to find it easy to handle a chudidar rather than a salwar. And then I was told I had to cover my head. So I was all over the place because one only lived in one's jeans. And suddenly one had to don this new attire because that was a socially acceptable attire in my party. So they tell me that first get rid of that pajama, go put on a salwar, then we'll vote for you. So that's where it was. And I would say that now wearing pants and pajamas has become the norm. So in a way, a woman coming there set the bar for other women to follow as well, which is why I feel that a lot more women need to come out.
Fair enough. But also, now you also become a sort of an ambassador. You only wear salwar kameez, head covered, even in Delhi, where, you can. Once you wore a sari to Obama's dinner. Tell us what happened after that.
I got trolled and abused like crazy for letting down the Punjabis and following another attire line connected to another religion. So it's become very complicated. But even worse than that was my daughter, when I went to drop her in London Business School. So like a typical mother, she wanted you to come and set up her apartment. And she says, "Mom, you're not coming to my hostel dressed like this." So I said, "Obviously not." I put on my jeans and a t-shirt because we were going to set up her apartment. And you won't believe in half an hour, I was getting phone calls after phone calls because those cab drivers, which are all over London, had from across the road, I don't know how, recognized me in my jeans and t-shirt, clicked a picture and viraled it all over Punjab. And I was being told that, what are you doing? At least cover your head. And I thought, gosh, this is what it is. So you don't really have, there's no privacy. But it's okay, I don't mind. I look at it the other way. A lot of people appreciate me that I keep my head covered in Punjab, that I'm keeping alive a culture, it's actually a sign of respect in Punjab, where the daughter-in-laws cover their head out of respect for the elders in the family. And I think in rural India, it's extremely common. So I don't mind it, it's okay. I just had a choice that I do it in Punjab, and I come to Delhi, I take it off. I decided not to do that. I would rather be what I'm there, I'll be over here. So that was the only tough decision, which didn't go down very well with my school-going kids. But then that's okay, they've got used to it now.
Okay, a little bit about politics of today. Parliament is in session, but we are seeing that Parliament sirf naam ke vaste hi hai. There is no work happening. There is, and this time it's not just the government and the opposition. Both are not coming to a samjhauta. एक चाहता है कि अडानी issue discuss करो, दूसरा चाहता है कि Rahul Gandhi, Cambridge. So when are we going to get some kind of a samjhauta and Parliament can start working?
It's really sad, very sad. In fact, I was standing with the banner, I don't know if you saw me, that please allow Parliament to function, and I was showing it to both sides, the Treasury as well as the opposition. Save democracy, please allow Parliament to function, because this is the first time I'm seeing where the Treasury benches themselves were disrupting Parliament. I've not seen it in the 14 years that I've been in this house. And if the people who are supposed to run the Parliament start disrupting it, then what hope is there? So it was clear that it was going to be a washout, but then I felt that they wanted ki, so and so, maafi mango, maafi mangte mangte usko bahar nikal diya, ab to chala lo bhaiya. But it's still not working. So where do people like us go? Where we have major issues, like in Punjab, due to this weather, 80% of the crop is all wiped out. The farmers are in major distress. There's a huge law and order situation. I'm sure you're all seeing what's happening in Punjab, where Punjab is being set on fire by the center and the state governments. There's so many important issues which one needs to raise. And these two are busy politicking over who said what abroad. You think anyone's even concerned? कि बाहर जाके कौन क्या बोल के है, किसी को पता भी नहीं था. They've made it into an issue over here. And somewhere I think they need to go out of Parliament and fight their battles and let Parliament function and discuss and debate what is there for, because it's the public's money which is being wasted. And the public needs to look at the people who are doing that. But now you even have the TV focusing only on a certain section and not on the other section, and it's being muted. So I don't know where it's headed.
But what is, now we are seeing at least the opposition is coming together. Thoda bahut, chahe Rahul ke मामले पे, whatever the issue is. Do you see this unity lasting till 24? What is the road ahead?
I think everybody in India feels that, for what you do, I have no sympathies for the Gandhi family or for the Congress party for what they've done to Sikhs and to Punjabis. So I don't speak for them. I speak as an Indian who believes in democracy and who believes in the constitution of our country. I think what is going on is actually an insult to Baba Sahib Ambedkar ji, who's the father of the constitution. And actually it's an insult to him, where I always believed that a parliament was a place where you had immunity from saying what you had to say, and nobody could target you for that. Now suddenly if you can't even speak what you feel in Parliament, it's all going to be expunged. You can't speak outside because you'll be picked up, like a certain leader was, which...
he who shall not be named.
I don't want to name because I'm not their spokesperson. So you can't speak, so now you can't go abroad and speak. So where are we headed? At least there's freedom of speech is one of the major things which our constitution gives us, and that too inside the Parliament if you can't. So it is very unfortunate. And if the opposition has got together and raised certain things, of course, they need to be answered. They must be discussed. You can't be that arrogant and not answer them and say they won't be debated and they won't be talked about. I think that's the height of arrogance. And it's unfortunate that it's reached that level. And the entire opposition may not see eye to eye with each other. But they're definitely agreeing on something, that there is an issue which should be discussed, where an answer should be given. But on the other hand, instead of giving answers and discussing and putting your point across, if you've got nothing to hide, you should not be running away from the debate in the first place. You want to divert it by throwing somebody out of Parliament and doing all that? I hope the nation and the educated people of this country are watching. And, but until they get an option, what choice do they have?
That's the brings me to my question. What is the option? So far, A, do you think they're setting up Rahul Gandhi for a fall? As you said, Rahul Gandhi ne Cambridge mein bola, kisne suna? Until the BJP picked it up and made an issue of it. So is this what the BJP wants? Conspiracy theory hai कि Rahul Gandhi ko set up karo because they like that fight.
I don't think you ask people to put up their hands. How many of us even take what Rahul Gandhi says seriously? I don't think anyone takes what he says seriously in the country. I don't know why BJP is taking it so seriously. That's one...
the Congress spokesperson coming. We'll wait for her.
That's one thing which I have not been able to figure out, get an answer to this quiz, that why is BJP taking him so seriously when the nation doesn't take him seriously? Only they can answer that. But obviously it's a diversionary tactic. They would rather have him than have anybody else. But politics is such, it'll throw up somebody. I mean, you know, you can keep compressing the spring to an extent, the spring will snap back. And when it does, then it will be there for everyone to see. I hope it happens sooner than later.
अच्छा पंजाब के बारे में कुछ बताइए बिकॉज दिल्ली से लगता है कि पंजाब इज स्पायरलिंग आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल आपको व्हाट इज बिकॉज देयर इज आल्सो सम पीपल हु आर यू नो सिंपैथेटिक टू अमृतपाल दिस इज व्हाट दे आर सेइंग और देयर इज नो सिंपैथी फॉर हिम व्हाट इज द स्टेट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन पंजाब
देखिए व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन इन पंजाब raises a lot of questions as to what are the state and the central governments doing. Without doubt, जब भी elections आती हैं, लोकसभा की elections, तो all this kind of communal tension increases. State elections में भी होता है and लोकसभा election से पहले तो ये होता है because it is one way of polarizing and that is a favorite technique of certain parties. But what is being done to Punjab, a border state, which is like, you know, wall between those Pakistans, what they want to do to the country and between the nation. This is Punjab is the wall that keeps their, you know, their negative activities at bay. But suddenly out of the blue, somebody arrives in our state and starts off doing whatever he is doing. No one is questioning where he is coming from. He gets this huge media hype. He starts talking things about, you know, the Home Minister, Indira Gandhi is just a tip of the iceberg. See what happens to the Home Minister, no reaction. He talks about breaking up India and making, you know, a separate state, no action. He further goes ahead, goes to a police station, beats up the cops, 18 of them, someone had to have 20 stitches, takes kabza of the police station. His friend who he had, or his associate, whoever, takes him out and walks off. No action by the government. You're beating up policemen, you're taking kabza of police stations, you're chhodaying your banda and going off, and is there any law and order in the state? I think that's what Aam Aadmi Party needs to answer. And here is a person openly talking about tukde and about threatening the Home Minister. There is no action from the center. Why? And now, suddenly after 4-5 weeks, you decide to take action against the gentleman. And the norm is that anyone wants to pick up. I've also been in the government. My husband's been the Home Minister. Even this government, if they want to pick up, just today they had to pick up somebody. They went at 4:30 in the morning and picked him up. Why was this guy who had announced 2 days earlier that I will be going to the police station to take kabza, allowed to travel for 100 kilometers with no cops stopping him, and allowed to go there and do what he done? And 3 weeks later, you decide to pick him up, not in the morning from his house. He wasn't running, he wasn't hiding. He is allowed to go, and then this crazy chase. And there are 80 companies from the center, the BSF, the ITBT, CRPF, I don't know how many companies from the center, half the Punjab police. The court said you had 80,000 police force, you couldn't catch one person, you caught everybody. That one person you couldn't catch, it's almost 3 weeks, you haven't caught him till now. What's going on? I think both these governments need to answer what's going on. And what this government is doing, in the garb of looking for this guy, they're picking up innocent boys across Punjab. Over 350 of them have been picked up. For what reason? I mean, those were the days where the Congress party and the Gandhis used to put Tada. We still remember in the 80s. Our youth were picked up, Tada was put, and we never saw them again. They were thrown into various jails. Now these youngsters are picked up, NSA, National Security Act, sent to Dibrugarh, sent here, sent there. What is their crime? What have they done? Nobody knows. Eventually, Akali Dal had to step in and fight their cases. We've got 100 of them released. And to the extent you'll be surprised, Priya, the Akal Tak Ka Jathedar, we Sikhs, we have our own mini parliament where the Sikhs vote for who we want to run our Gurdwaras. And it's headed by the Akal Tak Ka Jathedar. He put out a tweet saying that, these innocents should be released. Even his Twitter tweet was blocked. Who does that? It's not the state, it's not anybody who can do that. It's the state and the central government. So what is being done? This fear psychosis, this NSA Act being put where everybody is worried what's going to happen to their sons, this communal polarization, law and order, anyway, gangsters are ruling Punjab. I wonder how many of you saw that Lawrence Bishnoi's interview from Bathinda, my council, is the highest security jail we have over there. And the man is giving a 1 hour long interview. And the next day when the DGP tries to cover up ki purana hai, he gives another 1 hour long interview. He's in police custody. How are the gangsters giving these interviews? There's no answer till date, no heads have rolled, which is why they're sitting behind bars with full police security, calling up anybody and everybody, and extortions are rampant. You buy a new car, you're a shopkeeper, you sell a land. If you don't pay them up, they just come and shoot you. What happened to Sudeep Moosewala? Just came and they shot him. And you're playing a kabaddi match, they'll come and shoot the kabaddi player. 2 people have a fight, they'll shoot you dead. They're gone. And this is what Punjab has become. The industry is running away from there. The youth are all going off abroad. It's not a safe place to live.
Do you see governor's rule coming to Punjab, the way it's headed?
Well, that's what the center would want to do. The people don't want that. That's what I'm saying, that the people do not want any Khalistan. We want peace. We want stability. We want communal harmony. That's what the people of Punjab want. But obviously, like in the 80s, Indira Gandhi wanted something else to win an election. Certain governments together are wanting to do that, to make it a platform to play their political games.
Certain government. So that takes care of BJP and Aam Aadmi Party. What about Congress? Is there a Congress in Punjab now that your former Chief Minister has joined the BJP?
Well, Congress is all in the BJP washing machine, which have been all the ones who had cases against them have now gone into the BJP washing machine and joined BJP, so they are untouchable. So to give you an example, out of the Punjab cabinet, the Congress cabinet, of course, starting from our Chief Minister, Amrinder Singh, who joined first, the Finance Minister, Manpreet, who joined second. There are about over half a dozen more who have joined, and all of them have cases against them. So the ones who have joined BJP are now untouchable, but the ones who have not yet joined BJP, about 10, 12 of them, Aam Aadmi has put vigilance cases, and they're all either in jail or they're being questioned and will probably land up in jail. So that is the state of Congress. Either they have gone to BJP or they're waiting to go to BJP for that immunity from whatever the corruption that they have done, because Congress and corruption are 2 sides of the same coin. They can never be separated.
Which leaves the Akali Dal with very few options. I mean, between the Congress and the BJP, you are stuck between the rock and the hard place, literally.
True. So Akali Dal is a party which was never formed for power. We were always formed to fight for the rights of Punjab. My
Rahul Gandhi ki tarah to nahi bol rahe, power is poison.
No, not poison, but my father had spent 18 years in jail, not because, he did something wrong, but it was fighting for the rights of Punjab. Even if I resigned from the cabinet, not for anything else, but because my farmers were not happy with the farm laws, and this government had no business shoving it down their throat until you satisfied the people for who you were making it. So this party has always stood and fought for the rights of our people. Our agenda has always been communal harmony, because no state can progress unless there's communal harmony. And in this border state, it's very important because the majority in the rest of the country is a minority in Punjab. So, for over there to ensure this communal harmony is important. And peace and prosperity of Punjab, development of Punjab, this has always been the Akali Dal's agenda, and which is why in the 10 years that we were in power, unsurpassed, whether it was power, whether it was roads, whether it was airports, whether it was welfare schemes. That's the kind of progress which took place right up till 2015, when they realized they could never match us and defame us in the work done by us. Then another, like they say, sazish was rachod in the desecration of the Guru Granth Sahib, for which the case has started 1 year ago, which they blamed on us, but the SIT was made by Congress. and presented by the Aam Aadmi Chief Minister, not a single name of anybody of the Akali Dal, Badal family or worker. And the person that, the rapist Godman, who was responsible for it, was in jail serving a term, but he's out on parole every 20 days because of the hand of who's got him out of jail every 20 days, well as our Sikh prisoners who have completed their jail terms twice over are still languishing in the jails. They're not even getting parole. So that's the kind of, every time you're pushing the Sikhs away, you've taken in Haryana, you've seen they've taken over our Gurdwaras. By an act of parliament, you cannot do that. But that was all thrown into the air, a separate Gurdwara committee made, and they've planted their own people. The elected ones are chucked out, and the government's people have been put there. Totally undemocratic and illegal, but it's done.
Well, there is a reason why we call her the firebrand from Punjab. And also, she's known within her family as the most talkative Badal. But thank you, Harsimrat, for coming here and for this conversation. Before going, since we have a show on women's empowerment, I'll tell you a little thing about Harsimrat. I think during, when our father-in-law was the chief minister and they had just inaugurated a police helpline, she made an anonymous call to the, would you want to tell us about that at the last bit?
I don't know, there are so many, so which story was this?
Lots of anonymous calls. What are you up to?
No, it was, for the first time, women policemen were recruited in Punjab because when I became an MP and the women would come crying to me if someone came with domestic violence or someone who was raped, they say when we go to the police station, the guy tells us ki, tum nahi kiya hoega, tum mein galti hoegi. Go back home. Yeah. So who should we go to? It was when I went and told my dad-in-law that at least there should be women there at night. Who can she go to? She can't go to those drunk policemen in the police station and tell her problem because this is what they say to her. And that is when for the first time, the first 300 women were recruited. Women police station came up in Punjab. Of course, now there are many more. And I would ring up myself to do all these kind of checks on them and of course find them, either the ladies had gone home because the ladies were also like that. So it's an ongoing process, you just have to. But they do a better job than the men, let me tell you.
On that note, the face of Punjab politics, thank you so much for coming with us and being with us. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.